Good evening, folks. So, doing another stream tonight. Hadn't actually planned anything. And doing one that's very low key. Honestly, it hasn't been that popular a game to stream. I don't know if I said already. 10-10 nodding, didn't ready to play. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to stay on the screen here just for a minute. So, I'm noticing that the quality of the stream, looking at the view on demand on YouTube, the quality has gone way down. No idea why. So I'm actually experimenting with a few settings here tonight, seeing if I can fix that. And this should be a good game for that, because you notice it most when the screen is really dark and you get tons and tons of compression artifacts. So there's a stream element spot again. Anyway, the other reason is I tried playing, just to see if I wanted to do it on stream or not, I tried playing one of the DLCs for Little Nightmares, and I've decided firmly I am not playing that on stream. There was far too much swearing. It was extremely frustrating. As much as I love the game, my big complaint about it is that it is very one note. It is stress to stress to stress to stress. You get very little respite. You get very little variation in the emotional palette. And there were a lot of obstacles along the way that were frustrating, not because they were difficult to figure out, but because the execution didn't feel reliable. In playing part of one of the DLCs, I found that was especially true. I love the world that they're setting up still. You get to see certain rooms where you already went through as the kid in the main game. Now you're playing as some other kid. And you get to kind of see things from a different angle. It's fun. It's nice. There's a terrifying kind of creature in the game that they present really well. Over and over and over and over and over again. Until I got to one puzzle that was effectively, you've got one of those cranks, you gotta find the handle so you can put it in the slot and open a door. And so to do that, you have to climb up on this thing, find the crank, throw it into some water, for reasons. You can push a button to lower the water. And then comes the fun part. I tried walking up, like there was one place where you had to get one of the cranks, the handles, in the main game, where you went up and if you walked up to like a ledge, you could walk right up to it and throw it, and the character would kind of throw it up on the edge. No big. Well, in this case, you've got to put the crank on top of a suitcase, which when you fill the tank with water again will lift it up so you can get it and throw it over to the side where you need it. But you can't just walk up to the suitcase and put it on there. And so now ensues this big long part of the game where you are trying to get enough steps back to throw the stupid handle at the suitcase to try to get it to land on there over and over and over. Because if you saw the main game, the throw distance is not consistent. Like, it went from, I'm going to throw something, and you barely throw it, to you back up and you throw it quite a bit further, to you get exactly where they want you to be and you throw it. And it's this perfect, like, it's not physics based, it is positionally based. It is stand where they wanted you to stand in the game to throw the thing, and then it works. Well, this one is physical, except for the fact that they rule out the easy, obvious solution. This actually reminded me, there was, if anyone remembers, people remember the game Myst still, right? And I was a huge Myst fan way back when. And there was, in all the series of games, you had Myst, you had Riven, and then you started getting into the weird ones. You had Myst 3 Exile, which I kind of liked, but wasn't the most popular game. And then for a long time, they developed this 3D version of Myst. All this, let's get to the main point. In that 3D version, where they developed their own 3D engine for this game. And I can remember one of the puzzles involved, like, if you're actually solving the puzzle, you'd grab this sort of a basket thing and go set it down in this one spot. But you didn't have the ability to pick things up like that in the game. So if you want to solve it, you have to like kick it upstream to get it into the right place. It was absurd. It was the moment like I realized like this is garbage and I'm not gonna. And I was, even at the time, I was a huge Myst and Riven fan, and I was like, this is so broken. This is so not a polished, finished game. I know a lot of people still like the later games and probably still play them today, for all I know. But anyway, it was like that. It was, instead of doing the obvious thing in the game, it's like spending 5-10 minutes over and over and over trying to get in the right spot. So then I did it on the suitcase. Back to the Little Nightmares. I did the crank handle on the suitcase. I go up the ladder. I fill the tank. There it is. I get on the suitcase, go to throw it, and I get one of those random throws where it's like, and it just falls off the suitcase back into the water. And I was just like, that's it. Actually, that's not true. That's not true. That's not when I gave up. I went and did the whole stupid thing again. Got up there, got over to the side, put it in. Okay, so I turned the crank. What's going to happen when I turn the crank? Oh, a door on the other side lifts up. Oh, so now I've got the floating suitcase in the water in the middle. I've got to position it in the middle so I can do a jump to get under the door. And the first time I was like nowhere near being able to get under the door before it slid down and was closed again. I'm like, man, okay, this is going to be tough. Put the suitcase in place, got it just spot on, dead center, went over, did the crank. Perfect execution, boing, run, jump, boing, boing, slide into the door, and it lands on my head. And so again, that was when I quit. I'm just like, this is so, like, I'm getting nothing out of the game that I hope to find, which is not just another character, not just more rooms. That's cool and all, but let me know you've made a really cool thing. Let me know more about the world. There are so many different ways that you can show that to someone, and their solution was so one-dimensional. So I will probably watch someone else's video on that, because I am kind of curious to see how it ends. But it kind of makes me wonder if I want to play Little Nightmares 2, because if they're still going down that road where it's literally one stress puzzle after another, like that's nah. I'm just not into that. I'll end up having to watch someone else stream it, do a playthrough more like a movie than I will be able to play it. And that would be unfortunate, but we'll see. But the point is, nerves frazzled. Want to play something that is relaxing to me, that I really enjoy. I'm so done with 76 right now. It's really disappointing because I've invested a lot of time and frankly a lot of money into that game too. And then it just kind of, we're done. We're not playing that. So for folks who are watching, you've never seen this. This is an unusual game. It's not everyone's cup of tea. It is largely a text-based game. There are graphics, of course. There's pictures and whatnot. The graphics are very sort of retro looking. They're, simple lines, nothing fancy. It's a very low-key, thoughtful game, which makes it, for me, a really great game to play late at night when you want something mellow. But also, like I said, there's a lot of sort of, like you see in the title screen here, there's a lot of dark colors, which I'm testing the stream, trying to make sure the image quality is good. That should help me out. So if you see, if the picture is very difficult to see, please do let me know in the chat. I would trying to tune things up here. I will say too that I went and did a couple network tests, and our bandwidth seems spot on. Our bandwidth seems excellent. So it's not a networking issue. I am seeing, like right now, I'm looking at frames missed due to rendering lag. We're at almost 1%. It's like 0.7%, and this is nothing. There's nothing going on. I've got a static screen, and that's it. So what in the heck is going on with that? CPU is not being taxed. Actually, the CPU is higher than I would like it to be. And I don't know exactly I've gone over every application I can in the background. You get the idea. I'm doing some testing here. We'll see how it looks, because I went back and looked at some of my older streams, and they're crystal clear, just beautiful. The last two I did for Little Nightmares, unfortunately, I went back and looked, and they are so trashy looking, because so much of the game happens in the dark, and there's tons and tons of compression artifacts, which create that weird, blocky, kind of pixelated look. Here's hoping we don't get that tonight. So I'm going to switch over. Given that Yeah, I'm going to take my picture off the screen here. There we go. And we'll focus on the game. Hope you enjoy. It's been a long time since I've never finished this. This is still my first playthrough. Not done a lot with it. I don't know what to expect, and it's been a long time since I played, so I don't remember where I am. I will be reading the text as we go, so hope you enjoy that too. It's a very dark game. First image. Sunny morning. 83 and sunny now. Looks like it's going to get up to about 1:01 by late afternoon in Louisville. 1:03 in E-Town. Not a cloud in sight to get out those so get out those parasols. Haha. I can't remember how to interact with this thing. Major accident just ahead of the Bardstown exit, so if you're headed to work on 31, you are late, my friend. Haha. Sugar? Just a little. I forgot how you take your coffee. I'm tired. I didn't sleep well. Those old horses of Ira's used to keep me up. That they were having bad dreams, I remember. Ira wouldn't hear it. They're just horses. Hey, animals can dream. But those horses were troubled. Alethea chewed up the wood in the stalls. That's right. Charlie loved those horses. He'd sit on the roof and read his textbooks and watch them. He was so careful here. Or our roof was just in better shape than the one he fell from. Charlie was alone on that roof. I guess he was. He was so bright. His teacher said, what was the word? Apt. That's it. How did I forget? Wasn't his fault. Wasn't anyone's fault, Conway. That's what we mean when we say it's an accident, a tragedy, or a shame. Sure. Well, we have a mail order delivery today. Might be a long drive. Hope the truck can hold up. That truck will outlive us all. I hope you're right. I'm glad you'll keep it. Ira would have wanted you to have it. It's been running since Charlie was born. Ira took me to the hospital in that truck. So did you once. When you fainted. My hero. So, long drive? They said they couldn't come in person. Maybe just a shut-in. I don't recognize the address. The order's all... I'm sure we can fill it. Guess that'll be the last. I guess it will be. The last act of Lizette's Antiques. The, what's the word? Finale. Maybe. No, that's not the word. I just need to think a bit. More coffee or something? Or I've had more coffee or something, or I've had too much. It'll come to you. Maybe. I'm not sure anymore. It seems inevitable there'll start to be words that I lose forever. What are those boxes you sent in the hallway? Those are Charlie's old books. Oh. I thought we could look at them together. That sounds nice. Cora should be here soon. Will you wait with me? Sure, Liz, I'll wait with you. There's your traffic and weather on the 5s. That's every 10 minutes. Brought to you by the Consolidated Power Company. Stick around for Old Kentucky Home with Kate, helping you turn your humble home into a mansion after this. Yeah, he injured his leg in one of the previous episodes. They didn't treat it right away, and it had been getting worse and worse. They found a doctor, but I'm not sure if he's out of the woods. That's only if you make a late payment on a follow-up visit. I think everything went well enough here that they'll only want to bill for... Oh, he's awake. How do you feel, old man? All fixed up? Truman says you might be a bit misty coming out of it, so... I was dreaming. That's unlikely. Nerpnol TM is quite powerful. In fact, many patients report a sensation of lost time. Do you feel like you've lost time? I guess so. It's been about 2 hours. Feel like I got some rest. Good. How about that leg? How's your leg feeling? Yeah, that's the important part. Conway shifts his leg a bit in the chair, testing it. Well? There we go. It was the heat. The shingles were cracked in the sun, and one of them slipped out under his feet. Shingles? What are you talking about? Who slipped? Your thoughts and feelings are probably still a little nebulous from the Neripnol TM. It's totally normal. It'll pass. Wouldn't recommend driving, at least for another hour or two, regardless. Thank you, Doctor. Sure, well, let's talk about a few things you should be aware of. Recovery, rehabilitation, and side effects. Oh, I'm used to a few side effects. There'll be side effects with Nerpnol TM. Boy, he likes to say that over and over. Mostly. The operation itself wasn't particularly remarkable. Typically we see daydreaming, deja vu, pensiveness, fugue states, irregular perception of time. About 15% of patients report a generalized sensation of lateness. Nothing to be alarmed about, just keep it in mind. Best thing you can do is keep it clean, free of debris. What do I clean it with? Only clean your leg with a soft cloth, moistened with water or isopropyl alcohol. You'll definitely want to avoid abrasive agents like detergents or other solvents. So, do you have any suggestions? Anything about the bill that didn't make sense? I don't mean to rush you, but I have an early fishing trip. What are you fishing for? Oh, just out on the lake. Stripers, maybe? Gotta keep those wrists and elbows limber, you know? Thanks for your help. Julian's outside. We can head back to your truck. It's a very interesting looking leg now. Act 3, Scene 1. Museum of Dwellings. How are the drugs treating you? Streetlights seem a bit brighter. Oh, like trails and tracers? Something like that. My mom used to get that. She had migraines. My folks had a peculiar relationship with medicine. We almost never had a regular doctor or health insurance or anything like that. Our immigration stuff was a mess for most of my childhood, so we only qualified for state programs in small patches before something or other would get contested. We learned just to pile on dentist appointments and stuff in those short windows. If a cut got infected or her migraines were too much to handle, Mom would just talk to so-and-so who knew so-and-so, usually another minor, and end up with some pills, and instead of medical advice, every pill came with gossipy anecdotal warnings and superstitions, like all this lore that came with it. Like magic. Dangerous, mysterious. Weaver's folks didn't help? Yeah, they had pretty good health care through the university for a while there, a couple times. A couple times they swinged something so I got a bit of whatever Weaver needed. In high school, Weaver got these pills to help her focus. She was so smart, but always going off in different directions, mind racing, like 5 conversations going on in her head at once. You're lucky if even one of them is with someone in the room, you know? So she had these pills, and they seemed to help. I was struggling in school, too, failing my history class. She offered to share the pills. Did it help? At first, yeah. Helped a lot. Had a kind of presence and clarity, purpose that I never really had otherwise. I didn't want to stop taking them. One day I was sitting on my bed. My notebook was open next to me on top of a textbook. I was holding a pen in my hand. I remembered this moment from several years before. It came up so suddenly with such precision. Couldn't put it out of my mind. Felt I had to stay with it until I'd recalled the whole thing perfectly. It's just a tiny nothing moment. My mom patching at the side of a bird cage, winding some spare wire around the frame to reinforce it. I was fixated on that image and that sound. The cage kind of bending and twanging as she worked on it. Rapping and nodding, scraping copper against paint, like bowing a rubber violin with a railroad tie. My parents came back from a triple shift and found me still sitting there on the edge of the bed, pen in hand, delirious with thirst, patching that birdcage with the 1,000-yard stare. Man, this is where, let's take a brief out here. This is where this game stands out from everything else. I talk a lot about games, and I very often lament the fact that most games have really mediocre writing at best. Most of them have bad writing. Go compare virtually every other game. Hell, take Fallout 76 and the tripe that they put in that thing. Much as I like the game overall, no one should be arguing that the writing in that game is anything beyond not even I was about to call it pulp. The thing is, some pulp is actually kind of fun. Can't really say that for 76. Maybe in one of the games once it was kind of fun, but it's just become this repetitive one note thing. Point is, compare that to the writing in this game. The completely different world here, completely different level of quality. Get some rest back there. The doctor seemed nice enough. Just got in over his head is all. So, what's the plan here? I could use a bite to eat. Oh, okay. You've been a while on the road. What is that? What is that down there? You've been on the road a while. Well, there's an all-night convenience store not too far from here. Is that okay? Yeah, that sounds good to me. Okay. We can take 31 heading east. It's right before 65. And head back into the night. So I forgot about the bird. That's what was sitting there. There's a bird that you fly around on at one point. Just because. Okay. Didn't make it far. Act 3, Scene 2. A tree. So this is not a puzzle game. There hasn't been anything so far. I mean, there have been some things that are kind of interactive, right? Nothing that requires you to unlock things or find keys. So if we're here and there's nothing immediately called out to interact with, my guess, this is just a little curious aside more than anything. Nothing to be done? Can you take a look at it? I guess I could poke around in there, but I don't know a damn thing about engines. Wait. Is this why you always leave your truck running? Just superstitious. Right. Any other quirks I should know about? Don't name dogs after loved ones. Huh. This old dog remind you of someone you knew? Is that why you don't give him a name? Anyway, do you know this area? Anyone around here that could give us a hand? Oh, looks like a road crew's been out here. Hey, we should call someone. Do you know a good towing company? Let's see. I can't read the name or the number on this flyer, but it looks like a picture of a tow truck. I found this card for Mercadet? Wreck recovery on the dash. Huh. Hey, Nikki! 2 a.m. in the morning, go to bed. No, I'm just chilling out. Thanks for saying hi. Hope you have a good night's sleep. Maybe we'll catch you tomorrow. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you for doing so. It's nice to see you. Does that count here? I think it does. It's good to hear from you. Have a good night. Let's see. Found this card. Yeah, we'll do that one. A little more mysterious. Worth a shot. I'll give them a call. Hope I can get a signal out here. Shannon speaks into the large brick cell phone held up to her ear. Hi, hello. We've got an old, I want to say diesel, old truck just stalled out. Did I wake you? Your card says open 23 hours a day. Oh. Yeah, that's why I'm calling. Exactly. That's all. That's okay. Look, we need to get back on the road here, and I'm sure you're busy too. Are you? Is this a bad time? We we already ate. Look, as soon as you get out here, we're off 65 somewhere. Just kind of pulled up by this tree that fell over. Okay, well, I don't know any of those people, but that does sound like the right area. You been over here before? Hmm. Okay, my pleasure. How long do you think you'll be? Hello? Hmm. Are you bored? Are you? Yeah, most of the time. Let's play a game. How about 20 questions? Okay. Ezra looks meaningfully at his shoes. Got it. Okay, guess. Right. Is it alive? No. Let's see. Does it have a home? It... You could put it somewhere, and that would be the right place to put it. Yes. Interesting. Would I... No, it's not. Does it last for more than a day? Well, we put it together, and that takes a while, but then we break it apart right away. No, it doesn't last more than a day. Not the way it really is. Did you make it yourself? We put it together, but we didn't make it. No. Alright, that's all of your questions. What's your guess? I think I did a few more. I wasn't counting, but I'm pretty sure that was 20. Is it a jigsaw puzzle? Yeah, it's a puzzle. Julian found it at the bus station. It's a picture of a spooky underground lake. There aren't any boats, but some pieces are missing, so maybe that's where the boats are. Checking my... Since this is a little bit of a test tonight, I'm checking my frame rates here, and... Frames missed due to rendering lag. 0.4%, so we're doing some better. Skipped frames due to encoding lag. 0.1%. Still, I'd rather see 0, but maybe some is normal. I just have to keep a closer eye on that. Frames per second is fine. Everything else looks good. I wonder if my computer is just starting to age out. Let's talk to Shannon. The dog can wait. We always kind of save the dog for last. I think they're on their way. Discs will have some time to kill. We could look over the road map again. I've stared at that thing too long already. Where'd you get that old map anyway? It's just been in the truck. Huh. Well, someone must have grabbed it at a gas station somewhere along the line, or maybe they threw it in the glove box at the dealership. When my parents bought their first car here, it came with a map. I used to sit in the back and pore over it. Aunt Remedios saw me looking at it, I guess, and a few days later she gave me a map she'd brought from Colombia. Pardon me for not being able to say that with the right accent. It looked almost hand-painted. Deep, vibrant colors and rough border. Lines like anxious brushstrokes. Really pretty. I'd slowly trace the coastline with my finger like I was walking on the beach and say, here we'll swim, here we'll start a fire, here we'll find a cave in the cliff face and go live among the bats for a while. I think I'll take a look at that radio of yours. Maybe I can get it going again. No point just standing around. Leave Shannon alone for a minute. Wish Julian wasn't so busy right now. Got a lot of houses to carry still. Wish I could help more. That thing's been broken for years. So we'll get to find out what station you had it tuned to when it went out. A snapshot of a younger man's taste. Do you remember what it was? Some college station. Well, I'm sure we'll find something to listen to on the road. Interesting, he still got that skeletal leg. Where are we staying tonight? Yeah, let's see, some closet at the bar, I guess. Harry Esperanza's 4-star broom closet experience. Maybe it'd be nice to stay outside one of these nights. Power down just enough to rest, but keep an eye on the stars. Be there when the birds wake up. Short circuits, capacitors popping in the morning dew. Yeah, you're right. How far out are we? I don't know, 20 minutes? Damn. Harry's not going to be happy. You know he doesn't like me anyway. Tell him you had to get that drain pipe on tape. Aw, he wouldn't appreciate it. But man, the way those raindrops boom down that thing, I got at least 30 minutes of it. More than all silver and gold of this earth. Let's see. What's that? I don't know. I think I heard it on the radio. What's on your mind, Cricket? Oh, I don't know. Just looking at the stars. Hope we get there soon. Never been this late. Keep on dreaming. I'll keep driving. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. And there they go. Whoa. We're already late. Did I explain all this to Harry? Oh, no way. You're the smooth talker. In fact, I bet you had no problem explaining we had to stop out of the goodness of our nature and check on some wayfaring strangers. Fine. Just for a few minutes, though. You're the best. And, hey, maybe if they're not busy, they can fill some seats at the gig, you know? No one's there. If no one's there, Harry will try and bilk us on our fee. Maniacs. Are you okay? Sure, you? Oh, no, I'm fine. Thanks. They're in a hurry. Where do you think they were headed? What do I think about where they were headed? Sometimes you're pretty abstract. Junebug to Johnny, stay here. To Ezra, careful. He's wicked with strangers. Huh. Let's see. Oh. Oh boy. Choices. Let's see. Who's chasing you? Hear that, Cricket? We're being pursued. I knew it. Who's after us? Well, that's a good question. These folks seem to have a certain handle on the situation. So... dinosaurs. Sure, something like that. Listen, we've got 2 questions for you folks. What kind of people do you take us for? I mean, how do we strike you? You seem nice enough. To Johnny, what do you think, Cricket? Her generosity is unmistakable, ma'am. It radiates. It does radiate. Now here's another question for you. Do you like music? Huh. Lisette used to sing in the taverns on the weekend. Beautiful stuff. I can't resist this one. Sometimes I like to leave the radio dialed between stations. course you do. See, they should come to our gig. What an idea. Well, we're waiting for a tow right now. We're just trying to get back on the 0. Right now, just headed over there on this baby. The weird Vector. Vicious Cycle. That's a little too obvious. Sloth on wheels. Let's say the weird Vector. That's what we call our bike. We call it the weird Vector because the front wheel's a little loose. We'd be very much obliged. See, we have a regular booking tonight, and well, we're running late, very late. That's what I told them. Now, the old man who runs the venue, Harry Esperanza, is a notorious withholder. We don't get a few bodies in the crowd, well, he'll go all penny pinching on us. Just a short set. We only have one song prepared. You'll come to the gig, won't you? Of course we will. Of course they will. Do you believe? We almost didn't stop. Hungry, old man? They left our crust in the sidecar here. After all, it's so late. Well, it's all said and done. We've stopped. That's all that matters. Our gig's at an old tavern called the Lower Depths. It's over there by old Charlie Moran Highway, just east off 65. We usually take a ride off the interstate around the arcade. Johnny likes the arcade. That place, I just put fresh batteries in my field recorder. Now let's see about that truck of yours. I feel certain we can get it running. Okay. And what is going on there? Oh, it's like a... Okay. What is that? What is that place? So one of the things about this game is, like, it doesn't penalize you for exploring, but sometimes trying to find what you're looking for is a little bit of a bear. Like, what is that place? Field notes. The Lower Depths. We're by Charlie Moran Highway, just east of 65. Take a right. 65 around the arcade. 65. Let's see. So where's the arcade? At the arcade? Where in the heck is the arcade? There's the arcade. Tavern. Go back. There we go. We made it. Act 2, Scene 3. The Lower Depths. That's cool looking. Feels a little like home, huh? Not all bad memories. Some of it I don't remember at all. Kind of late. You sure they're open? Sure they're open. This is one of those places. Let's head on in. We're not saints, but we've kept our appointment. How many people can boast as much? That's lovely, ma'am. Who said it? Poet. Hey, Junebug. Ma'am, I hate to say it, but the cupboard is bare. Have some vision, Cricket. We've got 1, 2, 4 patrons. Harry doesn't count. Well, we've done more with less. Been in a bar like this since. Give it up, huh? Well, I bet Harry has some coffee on back there, but I won't vouch for her quality. She's a connoisseur. Johnny's favorite regional cuisine is gas station. Don't talk to the bartender. I think we need to talk to the sandwich. All I'm pouring tonight is Hard Times whiskey. Oh, really? Any coffee going? No coffee. Hard Times whiskey. Say, shut the GD door, would you? I can't afford to run the AC all night. Sorry, Harry. Oh, it's you too. Where have you been? Never mind. Listen, I can't keep this place open through the small hours of the night just waiting for musicians. Where is everyone? Everybody had to, clear out. Let's get set up, huh? There's nobody here to listen to it. I can't pay for... We brought some people, Harry. A crowd is forming. Yeah, but also I... Let's see. You want to hear some music, Harry? What do you want to say? Been on my feet all day. But I... There we go. How's it looking out there? How are you all feeling tonight? Can we get a bit more reverb in the monitors? Harry, just a soundboard behind the bar. How's that? Test, test. 1, 1, 1, 3, 50. Lamentation, lamentation. Sounds good. How's everybody doing? Anybody had a real bad night? How about you, old man? Oh, not too bad. Well, we'll take care of that right now. This is a song I heard in a tavern many years ago at an open mic night. Me and Johnny were out just riding around, you know, like to drive around. You like to drive around, old man? That's where I feel at home. Of course you do. So we were out riding around, and we passed this gaudy old tavern. I mean, it was a real dive. Busted up facade, weeds in the parking lot, taps all dry, bats in the bar room, run by this creepy bag of bones. Looked like the only thing keeping him awake was the fear of death. So glad to be back here at the lower depths. Hey now. So we stopped for an early drink, and there was a lady singing right here on stage. And the song she sang? Well, it stuck with us. Now it's a regular part of her repertoire. Never got that lady's name, but she seemed like a sweet gal. She had a voice like Scotch whiskey. We just hoped to do her song justice, so here it is. Too Late to Love You. You left me. I never should have met you. I wish we'd met before. You'll pardon me if I don't sing. Oh, I read the whole thing as one stanza. That's okay. I never should have met you.
To
Nice. No applause button? I was hoping to like have a quick comment to Harry. I hope I didn't. Dang it. Yeah, shoot. I gotta learn. This game, you only really get one choice. Everything's a fork in the road. Well, Harry, I think that went pretty well. I'd say the crowd was into it. Reverential. Rapt. I wouldn't disagree. I guess the usual fee is about right. We'll let you get back to your business. Well, that's just it. Damn it, I was trying to tell you two. I can't pay. They cleaned me out. Got nothing left but a GD IOU from the distillery. An IOU. Yeah, I traded them some whiskey, and I guess I had some surplus credit, so I got this note to get some more from them later on. Must have been a hell of a trade. I had to. Gotta keep this place open somehow. Watch your language, Harry. Yeah, some things I don't care to read. Did you pay them with your IOU? Well, very contemporary, very astute. How about it, Harry? Let's push some paper around. Let's just... I can collect on it here and they bring more whiskey up, but for you to cash in, you'd have to go down to, down to the distillery. Down to hard times. You gotta take the zero. So that's what we'll do. How do we get there? Are you folks sure you want to head down there? I've never been myself, but people hear things, rumors. So where we gotta go? Well, alright, I'll tell you then. But this is it, right? We're square? Harry, you're alright. If only. You got a radio in your car? Yep. Well, here's what you gotta do. Take a left out of the parking lot, and then just fiddle around on your dial till you hear something familiar, but... familiar, but strange. You know the feeling? Like, I used to go hunt with my uncle out in the mountains. Now I watch these nature programs. They're filmed in the mountains, and there's deer, and I know all the plants, and, like, every kind of tree, but something just doesn't look right. And it's even stranger for being so close to familiar. Something like that. You'll know it when you hear it. It's that strange but familiar station on your dial. Drive for a bit, and then turn around when the station cuts out. I mean, right then. I hope you folks find what you're looking for. Eventually. Always a pleasure, Harry. Is it? I kind of wish I'd talked to them first. I don't know. I like the song. I got the soundtrack. I'm curious to see what they put on it, lyric-wise. Alright. That yawn is my signal that I'm going to go ahead and call it quits here. We'll say that that's it for tonight. Let's see. I'm going to wait for that to go away. I'm doing a little switch here. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. Alright. Nikki, really good to... I haven't been able to see you much lately, so glad you stopped by. I always appreciate... makes me feel like I'm not so alone when someone stops by and says hi. So, again, hope you have a good night. Tomorrow is a day away from work, but I don't know what's going on. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to stream or not. So we'll just play it by ear. Take it as it comes. This was a lot of fun. This reminds me, I need to get back into this. There are so many different sort of branches of this that I really don't know where it's going. That's actually okay. Like, I'm not terribly concerned with it, really. But it is weird to be going through a story where there's so little expectation. Like, I'm enjoying each step along the way. So there's an author I really like who writes like this. His name's Don DeLillo. I've heard him say in interviews he doesn't actually think about plot when he's writing. His writing's gorgeous, in a contemporary kind of way. I really like his style. I think of all the authors I've been reading lately, I probably subconsciously try to pick up on his style more than a lot of people right now, as I learn. But he writes kind of like this. It's like you don't necessarily look ahead. You're not. It's not your typical kind of thing. It's not like you're Wizard Harry and then you got to work out everything from there and there's the big final conflict. It just kind of goes and goes and goes, and each part's interesting, and eventually it doesn't go anymore. I'm very curious to see if any of this will knit together into something bigger, or if this is kind of it. This is just kind of a. I read about this recently. It's instead of it being a, what do they call that? Like rising tension, right? Everything's rising tension and then it'll release and then rise and release. It's a modular story instead. It's a bunch of ideas put together and in a modular short story or novel. They're laid out in a certain order. In a game like this, you kind of wander through them as you can. They knit together into a feeling and some ideas. But again, nothing like a typical plot like you see in the vast majority of stories, novels, mainstream media. I enjoy it. I'm just saying, I don't know where it's going. Anyway, have a great night. God bless. And I'll talk to you again soon. Take care.